The Buffalo Bills have made a massive signing, which changes everything. Outside linebacker Joey Bosa has agreed to a one-year, $12.6 million contract for the 2025 season. My name is Maeve Miller, and I'm a part of the Bills Digest team, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates during this offseason. I just want to give a little background on Joey Bosa. Him and his brother, Nick Bosa, are just very well known in the league as being very talented in their position and just being powerhouses. This picture just accurately defines him as someone who's so talented and strong. In 2016, he was drafted third overall to the Chargers, and he just had so many accolades throughout his career. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year, he's been to the Pro Bowl 5 times, and he had a franchise record at the time of having 19 sacks in 20 games, which is just crazy and just makes me very excited to have him on the team. I think it's always fun to have a new player and see what he can do. So I think this was a really good choice by the Bills. In 2020, he was awarded a $135 million contract, which at the time was the richest contract for a defensive player. He had wanted to stay a Charger for a while, so he took a pay cut, but ultimately he was just too expensive. And just to go over some of his stats, this is from 2016 on, and you just see these numbers for sacks are insane, like having 10.5 and 12.5 and 11.5, and you see the seasons where he has lower numbers are where he was injured, which has also been something that's kind of been plaguing his career a little bit. He has been out with injuries and he has not played a full season yet. In 2018, he missed 9 games for a foot injury. In 2022, he missed 12 games for a groin/core injury, and then recently in 2023 he missed 7 games for a foot injury. And there was funny reaction on Twitter. There was a video of an ambulance going down the street and said Joey Bosa spotted heading to the Buffalo Bills facility, which is just a funny joke about how much he has been injured, which is crazy. Like, that does worry me a little bit because the Bills have had a lot of issues with injuries in the past, especially on the defensive side. Back when like Tre'Davious White was hurt, we've had Von Miller, Matt Milano, AJ Epinesa. So that does make me a little bit worried, but he's been healthy this last season, so hopefully he can enter the Bills and stay healthy for as long as he can. And the reactions from the signing was positive, I would say. For the most part, even Josh Allen said that was a pretty cool signing. He's gotten to me a couple times in my career, so looking forward to him coming in and making an impact on the defense. And it's funny that Allen brought that up because there was a little issue in 2020 with Bosa. He had sacked Allen, and Allen had kind of fallen weirdly, and some of the Bills players had thought that Bosa hit him too hard. Allen ended up being out for a couple plays, and it was funny, the backup came in and Bosa ended up sacking him too, which just shows how good of a player he is. But Bosa had said that, like, how am I supposed to tackle him? Like, he's huge. He was not trying to hurt him or anything, but obviously there was a little fight with the Bills, and I don't think there's any bad blood now at all. Like, Allen even said, he's like, I'm happier to have him on our side than playing against him. So it's funny, like, even big quarterbacks like Allen, they're not necessarily scared of him, but they know what he can do, which is exciting. It makes me excited that Allen even said that, because it just shows how good of a player he really is. Next, I just want to talk a little bit about Von Miller versus Bosa, because Miller was just cut from the team, which was a pretty big deal, and they're both elite pass rushers. They do have a lot of similarities and differences. Bosa more specializes in that pass rush, whereas Miller was more of an all-around linebacker. Their age also is a factor. Bosa is 29, whereas Von Miller is turning 35 this year. And with age at a position like this, it does slow you down. But both players have had a lot of injuries affect them. Miller, it is very difficult to come back from that ACL injury, so I do cut him a lot of slack in the fact that he's even playing this well, and suffering an injury that bad is very impressive. And Bosa's had a lot of injuries, but they're more minor and haven't affected him. It doesn't look like it's affecting him as much in the long run. Bosa, I feel like alongside Rousseau, could just be a very strong pass rush duo, which I feel like with Miller, we didn't see that as much. It was kind of lacking. He wasn't as intense, and I feel like there was times during the games that we were like, why? We need a better pass rusher. So I think cutting Miller and signing Bosa was a good move overall. It's always nice to get a fresh player on the field and just see what new things he can bring to the team. Lastly, I just want to talk about how he's going to elevate this defense. With Bosa, I think the defense is going to play much better, playing badly, but compared to the offense, the defense did just struggle a little bit. And there has been a lot of injuries, a lot of changes, So I think having a veteran on the field that has this playoff experience will be very exciting for them. I think the defense is going to operate on a higher level. And the Bills have had defensive issues, especially when it comes to secondary and pressuring QBs like Mahomes, like Burrow, Lamar Jackson. So I think adding Bosa to the team will just fill that void that they were kind of missing. And I think alongside other players like Ed Oliver and Rousseau, like I mentioned, I think there are just going to be a lot of strong players on the team that will really just help overall. And I just checking the tweet reactions from the post that said Bosa was signed, and there's like a lot of good reactions, like Buffalo stacked. As a Dolphins fan, I'm not liking this at all, which I love to hear. And it said if he stays healthy, he might just push the Bills over the hump. And there was a lot of talk in the comments about how maybe this could be what the Bills need to get that Super Bowl, because obviously the offense, we really don't need to make too many changes with that. But the defense definitely could use some upgrades. Not anything's bad, but I do like the way Sean McDermott runs it. And now the Bills will be able to rush 4 players with still having more defensive coverage. And Bosa's also very good at stopping the run on the outside, which is something that the Bills struggle with, and a lot of teams do in general. But like in the Ravens game, Henry would make it to the outside and just blow by us, or other like running backs like that. So I think having Bosa will not only help with the pass rush and pressuring the QB, but also stopping that run on the outside. And overall, I just think this is a very positive thing for the Bills. Adding a veteran player that is just so well known in the league and has such incredible stats is obviously going to impact them very well. And as long as he can stay healthy, I'm really excited to see what Bosa can do with the Bills next season.